Hello fellow colorists, welcome back to the channel, jicolourist. My name is Jody and we are continuing our festive coloring. We are starting a page a week as our countdown to Christmas coloring begins. We are doing the festive coloring book. This is a lovely shaped book. It is a huge book. It is illustrated. It is published by Spark Pool and it's illustrated by Pimlada, and I will put her last name on screen because I cannot pronounce it. This was purchased by Book Outlet. There are still some available if you are looking for it. We are going to be doing the left-hand side of the page. It's a 2-page spread. On the left-hand side, you have the face of the storefront or the building, and on the right-hand side, you have the interior. I picked the left-hand side because it does have the number on it, and since we are doing this as an Advent countdown, I thought that that page would make the most sense. So we are on week 5, if you can believe it, and we are going to be doing Teddy's Toy Store today. And what I plan on doing is probably some of the inside stuff with you today. So I'm just going to briefly show you how the page looks blank. I'm going to explain the 2 coloring palettes that I have chosen and how I found them, and then we will get started. Start offing the color palette choices. I use my iPad and I use the color wheel, and I picked light blue. So I used volume number 1 this time, and I picked light blue. It gave me a selection and it brought up these 2, 173, which has, it's actually a Christmas related one. So I thought that that was appropriate. It had some green and some brown, which I will need on this page. And this was the light blue, but this is more of, this is actually sea foam. So it wasn't quite the blue I wanted. So I selected the second one, which is also a Christmas one. So it has a bunch of browns, but no green this time. But it does have the light blue that I liked, and it has a dark gray. And I'm like, if I combined these 2 together, it would pretty much be perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to be using 173 and 176 in conjunction, and I'll be able to pick out the colors that I need to make this page fun. Now I have been doing bright colors for all of the storefronts so far, and I kind of envision this to be a small little town that's, you know, always bright and colorful all year long. So I haven't done any like brown so far, but I do have some other things coming up in the future that there's a house and a barn and stuff. So there may be some brown buildings coming up, but for now we're staying colorful. I'm going to continue on with trying out different mediums in the book. I am going to be pulling out my large pencils this time. I have the Create a Color Mega Color 36 set. I also have the metallic set. So I'm going to use the Create a Color Mega Color, and this is what they look like. This is light blue, so number 58. And I am going to actually go ahead and color with coloring pencil this time, the background. And I'm decided to do that because if I bring you down a bit, you'll notice that there isn't really a lot of paint behind the wall. Everything is pretty much covered with something else. So there isn't a lot of open spaces this time. So when there isn't a lot of open spaces, it's a little bit easier to manage to get into all those spaces with just a colored pencil. So that's the choice I'm going to do. So the actual background, so the base of the wall of the front of the building, I am going to be using the light blue, and then everything else will pop on top. That's the plan. Once I've gotten that done and done a few other items, I'll bring you back and we'll work on, you know, some of the things that are actually in the storefront windows this time. Okay, I hope you have been enjoying the series, and I will be right back with a little bit of this page done. Okay, here we are back. Just a little update on where we're at. Reminder, I am using the color palette 176 and 173. So keeping that in mind, I did the background with the light blue Mega Color, and then I have come in to do the window casings in a slight gray and a brown burgundy kind of color. So that definitely matches with the color palette, and I think that looks really good so far. What I'm doing now is I'm bringing in the Delft blue shade, which is number 53, and I'm just going underneath the windowsills so you can see this one has some shading under it and this one doesn't. So I'll bring you down a little bit and you can see that a little clearer. So I've only got one coat of the light colored pencil, and it is a large area, so even though there wasn't a lot of open space, there certainly was. This is a large book, so I'm just going and making sure that there's coverage everywhere, and I want to add a little bit of shadow so that the storefront isn't just so flat. So I'm coming in and I'm putting a bit of a darker blue right underneath where there would be shadow from like an overhang of the window. And just putting a little bit there, just scumbling it on, and then I'll come in with the lighter blue and I'll go back over that and blend it in. Just adds a little bit of contrast. So that's not using gray or black, that's just using a darker shade of blue, and just adds a little bit. So I'll do that under all of the windows and any place where I think that it might be appropriate. A little bit of shading that I haven't done on a previous example. I've also done this area here, but I've left behind the Teddy storefront name. I haven't quite decided what color that's going to be, and so I also haven't completed this area down here. So those will be accomplished at some point, but I do think that the Artex colors went down smoothly and nice. So far, it's going to look great. I will do all of this area in the festive colors and trying to still keep within my color palette. So I'm glad that I have a green. I may even pull in a sparkly green. I have this sage color. So this is a Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, and I may use that to do some of this leafing area around here. So we'll keep that in mind, but let's start to work on a couple of these windows because I think that the toys look adorable and I'd like to spend a little bit of time on that with you. Okay, let's pick some colors. Okay, I find it helpful when I'm dealing with a limited color palette to go ahead and pull out all of my base options. On the back you can see that you also have some tints and some shades, so you can definitely expand your colors if you're not happy with what you have. But I start with the base colors here and I pull out all of the colors that are going to work. I am going to be using the Pit Artist pens and the Staedtler pigment brush pens. They work really well together. They're great for these tiny little areas and small details. They also are permanent and they don't bleed through. And if I want to add any kind of treatment to the windows, such as triple thick, they are acceptable for that underneath. So they're a safe option for me, and it's something that I'm comfortable with. You could also just obviously pull out colored pencils or gel pens and the like. So I'm going to start with this. I may pull in some other things such as the Spectrum Noir sparkle brush pens, because I do have a variety of those in some colors that would actually work for this. By all means, this it probably won't be the least, but I thought I would at least show you where I'm starting from. So I've pulled out all of these colors, and it looks like quite a bit, but that's because I've pulled out colors for both cards. Okay, so keeping that in mind, and the reason I pull out all my colors beforehand is so that when I'm looking at the picture, I have the color choices right there handy in front of me. So let's go ahead and start with this window here. We'll just start in the corner and work our way across the page. Okay, so I have obviously some pink, so I'm going to just start coloring the bunny how I envisioned a toy bunny would be. And there's no right or wrong way, so hope everybody's having a great week this so far. Since this is a toy story, I thought maybe we would talk a little bit about remembering how it was when you were a child. And we had Sears Wish Book, and it was a catalog that came out by Sears, and it came out specifically at Christmas time, so it was called the Wish Book. And I am one of 6 kids, so that book was thoroughly looked over. It was probably one of the most read books in the house at Christmas time. You'll have to let me know if you ever sent a letter to Santa. I was thinking about that, and I'm like, I don't know if I ever have. So I don't certainly recall sending letters to Santa as a child, but and for those of you that have small children, do you write letters to Santa and send them off? I know Canada Post will take your letters and actually respond with a letter back. It's kind of a cute idea. Okay, so there's our cute little bunny. I'm going to let him dry, and then I can always come back in and do a little bit more shading and stuff. So let's do our giraffe. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper. Just have a little piece of paper here beside it so I know what the colors are that I'm going with. Voiceover Jody here, just to let you know that during this video there will be a little bit of music, but there will also be some commentary from me with a voiceover. I don't think I ever had a stuffed giraffe as a child. I did have a stuffed bunny though. He was a blue bunny. And I got him at Easter when I was 4. Pretty excited about that. And my birthday was on Easter at that year. My birthday's in April, so sometimes it's actually on Easter. So that was kind of fun. Thinking what kind of bow should I put this guy? And I'm going to have to make sure that I'm remembering that these are toys so that I can color things odd and fun colors. Does anybody else do that? You know, trees are brown and green, giraffes are, you know, this color. Thinking outside the color palette box is definitely something that I work at, because I am a very realistic type person. So, and let's give him a blue bow. Or actually, let's bring in some green and make it sparkly. So this is the Spectrum Noir sparkle pen, and you don't want to go over it too many times because it will soak through the paper, but if you're light-handed, you're fine. And let's make that star. I'm going to come back in with some, probably some, we've got these large pillars here, and I may make those bronze colored. So I'll leave the stars that I see around here to tie that together with some watercolor later. Okay, so we're going to leave him the way he is right there. I'm just going to tidy up our bunny a bit. Okay, let's move on to our next window. Okay, the yellowest color that I have is probably this one. So this is golden ochre. I'm going to do the moon in that color. And then we have a bunch of browns, and I have a light blue. And I can also come in with some clear stickles later. While coloring this toy store page, I was thinking to myself, when was the last time I was actually in a toy store? And if I was in there, what was I looking for and looking at? And so I'm not really sure when the last time I was at a toy store. My son is turning 30 this year, so it's been quite a while. But I just wondered, do you have a local toy store still in your town or city? And if so, when was the last time you were there? So this side's just a little bit lighter than this side. It's probably not showing up a lot on screen. Now I'm going to bring in a bronze color. This is a Jelly Roll Metallic. Okay, just give it a little bit of, and I'll also do the same around there. So let's make this a fun colored. So I'm going to do pink. I'll let you in on a little secret. At the end of this video, I will explain how I make this balloon partially shiny on the pink sections. So stay tuned to the very end and you will see the completed page as some bonus footage. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in a cream color. So I'm going to bring in the ivory. And then we'll use the same metallic jelly roll. So the pink really pops with the burgundy casing, so that looks good. Okay, and let's go ahead and use the sparkle pen for the tree. So my next question is for you as an adult, as we are all adult colorists here on the channel, is do you still have one of your own childhood toys as an adult? So I'm wondering, did you have a favorite childhood toy that somehow you have held on to all these years and still have it? Maybe you have it tucked away in a memory box, or maybe you still have it on display. I'll insert a picture of my childhood toy that I still have, and it is a cloth Holly Hobby doll, and yes, I still have it. I still also have all of my son's Lego from when he was a child, so not only do I have my own toy, but I still have some of his toys as well. He looks adorable. Just add a little extra color to him. And a little bit of fluffiness to the cloud here. Okay, now the house. The lights are going to be on in the little house here. So this is the Pitt Artist pen in ivory. And then for the house color, I have selected the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen in chromium green opaque, number 174. And you'll notice as I'm using the Pitt pens and the Staedtler pigment pens that quite often when I stop, there's like a little bit of excess ink there, and you'll see me always smearing it with my finger. So my hands do get quite messy when I'm coloring, and I just wonder, does anybody else smear things with their finger while they're coloring? I do this to both these kind of pens and gel pens. Here I am using a Pitt Artist pen again, and this time in one of the browns that I have previously selected. I then also go ahead and bring in a Staedtler pigment pen, and both of these pens have similar ink. They work well together. They both have very small tips, and so they really are useful in this type of coloring, which has such small detailed areas, and it allows me to get things done rather quickly, and it dries really quick as well, so smudging isn't a problem. Okay, let's work on this little guy. He is in a boat. I'm going to use sea spray, and I think that's a great color for a boat. So we are gonna go ahead and make, and it'll be a little bit shiny. We'll do another color as a contrast. Not too worried if I go over a little bit of lines, because the contrast color will, or the other color will hide that. This one's quite juicy, so I'm being careful not to squeeze it, that's for sure. Do this top part blue as well. Any of the toys in these storefront remind you of toys you had as a child? We've got a silver jelly roll. I'm just gonna come in and do the parts that would be metal. We'll let that dry, and I will think about a contrasting color. We can also come in with our gray, so actually that's what I'll do for the bottom of our little ship here. I think we should have some kind of fun color up there, so let's come back and look at our colors here, and I think maybe a pink. Okay, we'll let that dry fully, and then we'll come back and do the little guy. But I want to go do some of these ones on the bottom. So maybe we'll do the robot together, and then I'll go off and finish the rest of this page. There's still lots to do on the page, but there's lots to do on all of these pages. They've been quite fun so far and very colorful, that's for sure. I do plan on, since this is a toy store, it is open for business right now as far as I am treating this page. So I am going to come in with the same treatment I did a few times ago. So I'm going to use ivory and cream and do the outside and come in so that there is light inside the shop. Okay, we're going to work on the robot, and I'm going to make him silver and blue and gray. This is Cool Gray Light in the Staedtler Pigment brush pen. I think he should have some shiny metallic on him as well. Okay, this little robot toy to me looks like he probably has buttons that make noise, and so I'm just laughing, thinking of when I do have a grandchild, whether or not I should be buying toys that make annoying noises or not. What's your feeling? Do you give gifts that make a lot of noise? Okay, I'm going to bring in the dollar store blue glitter pen. And also a Jelly Roll silver metallic. Just a word of caution when using bold gel pens that have a nib of 1.0. While they are great to use, they also are very juicy, and you do need to be careful not to smudge or go over the lines. So that is a caution. It's quite the grin on this robot. Okay, we're going to continue on with the little robot friend here. I think that he needs a little bit more bling, so I am just going to do the outline of him in silver. Just to add a little bit of bling to him. And fix his nose, micron, and tidy up a few lines where the gel pen went over. We'll leave him. I have done the castle beside it, and now I think it's time to, we'll do one window with the have ivory and Naples yellow. So we're gonna scoot up to this area right here, and we'll do this one window right here. So just the very edge is going to be the Naples yellow because that's the brightest yellow. So basically I'm just going to do one line worth, and then I'm going to come in with the ivory. I'm not going to bring it into everywhere, just blend it out like that. Because then I don't have to get right up close to the actual items. So the ivory just kind of blends into the white of the paper. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do for that. And later on, after I've done the star and the rest, I'll come in and do some lines on one of the windows. So let's just scroll out and take a look at what we've done so far. I need to do the little bear here, and I need to do the unicorn and the little helicopter and car. I will do those on my own. I hope you're having fun this week with your own festive coloring book. And remember, once you're done a page, go ahead and email it to me at jicolourist@gmail.com. I look forward to seeing them. And throughout the next, if I receive pictures, I may go ahead and feature them on the videos that we're doing weekly, so that you can see some of the progress that other people have been making. Nikki has sent me 2 beautiful pages so far, so I'm going to include them here right now, and you can see her pages. So thank you, Nikki, for sending them, and I will definitely include them with our full gallery at the end of the project. Again, thank you, Nikki. Okay, as a bonus feature for those of you who have been sticking around for these WIP videos, I thought I would show you a completed page. Now, you are only going to see this page today on this video, and then in December. So this will not be in my September completed pages. So this is a sneak peek and a bonus for my people who have been following along with my journey. So this is the completed page for today's Teddy's Toy Store, which is day 5. And I thought I would bring you along and show you what it looks like. So let me just turn on some more lights. So I thought I would bring you along and show you all of the items that we completed. The background was done with the colored pencil, with the mega colored pencils. The inside of the windows were done with 2 different yellows, the Naples yellow and the ivory. I did come in with some bronze jelly roll and put in some slash marks to indicate reflections on the window. On the bunny and the unicorn down here, and the sides only of the balloon, I did use some Winsor Newton iridescent medium, and I painted that on with a small paintbrush right over top of colored pencil. So that's why you're seeing a reflection there. I did end up using both the Pitt pens and the Spectrum Noir Sparkle pen for the greens. So those are the 2 different greens that you're seeing there. And I used Jelly Roll Blue Metallic for some of that, and Dollar Tree gel pen as well. Then I came in all of the bronze that you're seeing. So the bronze down here on the little ears of the Teddy store, and all of the dots that had the bronze, as well as the stars in the windows and the reflection you'll see on the number 5 and a bunch of spots. That was all done with my Fine Tech watercolors, and it was this color here, which is called bronze. And that's basically, I used a little bit of black glaze, Jelly Roll glaze on the tires, and a couple of pieces. Oh, I noticed I haven't finished the little helicopter guy. Okay, well, I'll have that to finish then, and then you will see the completed page later. But I just thought I'd bring you back. I haven't shown you a completed page from any of the pages that I've done earlier, and I just thought it would be a nice bonus. Since I am having people now start to send their pages in, I thought it would be great to show you one of mine. Really happy with how this turned out. Thank you so much for joining me and sticking around to see this sneak peek at one of my completed pages. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a creative and colorful week, and I'll see you next week for page number 6. Bye-bye.